It is Slovenia. And the country's success at the contest, let's say, there's some room for improvement. 7th place is the best result so far. Can they improve on that this year? The broadcaster felt that they had a good song and they actually scrapped the national final in favor of an internal selection. So Joker out, a 5-member band thinks they have what it takes, singing Carpe Diem, and I'm sure there are plenty of reasons to love the band, but one of them is the fact that according to them, they are huge Eurovision lovers. So let's talk this through. Does Slovenia have something remarkable here or not? Connor, what are your thoughts?
Finally, I get to go first again. So for me, going back to, I think, our conversation we had earlier with Spain, this is a song that I do love in studio, but always gets even better when we watch it live. Like if you go back and you watch the music video and you're like, oh, okay, this is nice. But then you watch the live performance that they did when the song was released, and I'm like, that's even better. And that makes me really excited because when we're thinking about internally selected songs, traditionally one of our biggest worries is, what does this sound like live? Can this be, or is this going to be like an Austria 2022 where, ow? Or is this going to be like, holy cow, these are the best vocals we ever had? I don't think that Slovenia will be the best vocals we ever had, but it's going to be a fantastic performance and perhaps end up, I don't want to say as a qualification because, again, we're not oracles here, but this gives me a lot more hope than some of the most recent Slovenian entries and artists, because I think there's so much here to work with, so much to grab onto, and so much that people are excited about. I think this is the song that has gotten the most attention from the Eurovision bubble from Slovenia for as long as I can remember, honestly. I mean, probably not as much as Voda, but Voda never actually made it to Eurovision because of the pandemic. So that's just great things for Slovenia, and I'm just hoping that they pull it out in Liverpool, but I have really great expectations.
Yeah. All right. So Connor is a fan. Arnaud, your thoughts?
I'm also a fan. Just getting right off. But this is usually the song, where I wouldn't listen to that kind of song by myself, but when it got released, I think it was one of the earliest to be released this year, and I listened to it, and immediately first listen I was like, oh, that's different, and actually that's great from Slovenia. And then I kept on listening to it, and then, as you said also, Connor, the live performance makes it even better and even more entertaining. And also they have a lot of charisma because I don't know, it just, there's a synergy between them that makes it even more enjoyable to watch. And it's really catchy and also has a bit of a funky vibe, a groovy vibe. And I'm actually, I wouldn't say surprised because it's a good song, but I'm still a little bit surprised that it got a lot of attention, because Slovenia is usually a quiet country in Eurovision, and the song in itself isn't spectacular, some would say, but it still works and it still gets love and attention, which is nice to see. And I can't wait to see what they do in Liverpool. I hope they have a staging that works as much as they do when they sing it live without a proper staging.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a good song. The end. James? No, it's just really it's just that kind of song. I'm trying to really find words for it. It's just, I love the vibe of it. I think it's just a reminder also that you don't have to sing in English. And I think I love the trend at Eurovision anyways that we see as of late. Slovenia had a few rough patches at the contest. And it would be such a bummer if they don't get rewarded for this very solid effort. It's another song where I like, and I think you guys said it again, so I like the live performance a lot better than the studio version. I actually did my reaction video, and people were like saying, you should have listened to the live performance, not the video. I'm like, well, yeah, but you do the studio version first. It truly comes alive when performed, live. This is something I really want from a kind of like almost rock indie song. It's not the safest choice, but we need this in the finals. We absolutely need in the finals. It adds diversity, and even besides that, it's just a good song on its own merit. It's one of those songs I'm like, is it the highest on my ranking? No, but if it deserves all the credit in the world because it's just a really well executed effort in my book. So, and that's where I stand. And James.
This was actually a very shrewd pick on the broadcasters' end here. That they pick a song whose instrumentation would be very. The sounds of the place where the contest is being held. It sounds like a British song, but the genius part is the lyrics are in Slovenian. So it is actually a very shrewd pick in that regard, because it does kind of remind me of those sort of party indie rock songs of like the late 90s, early aughts, like I'm thinking like Supergrass, and then somebody in the comments mentioned Franz Ferdinand. So it's like that sort of upbeat, up-tempo party one. And yeah, I do like the vibe of this song. These guys are coming to Liverpool for a party, and you're going to have a good time. And I think people are going to connect en masse. Now, the locals might be a little much for them. I mean, they put Viagra and cocaine in the drinking water, so they might get more party than they bargained for. But a great, fun effort, and I find myself listening to this quite often.
Okay. So overall, pretty good. Gonna be all right, Connor.
You just never know where James is going to go with his comments.
No, he always takes a turn. It's like I didn't see that coming. But let's get to our scores first. Connor, since you got to talk first, let's hear your score first.
Awesome. Well, I will reveal my score after a little talking, but I think I went back, and when I was going through and seeking this out, or evaluating this, I did go to the live performance. And so I think if I had done the studio, it'd be a slightly different score. But for all of the reasons I think that we've all accurately articulated, for the fact that it is very different from the very indie perspective that Slovenia has taken in the past couple of years, and especially sending a very up-tempo and very energetic song, I gave it a solid 9. It is right on up in there in my top 10. Very happy to see a lot of the love that Eurofans have for this song. But I am so glad it's in Slovenian, because on my drive today, I listened to the English lyrics and
did not work on. No,
didn't connect with me as much as it does in Slovenian. So
yeah,
glad
it's hard to
staying
really
there.
effectively translate a song when you wrote the lyrics meant for a song, so then you just have to come up with lyrics that fit the melody and rhymes and all that stuff. So yeah, I hear you on that one. Although I haven't heard the English version yet. Arnaud, what's your score?
I gave it a good score. I gave it a 7.5. I really enjoy it, and I also appreciate that they kept it in Slovenian and didn't go with an English version, because the English version wouldn't have been that successful, I think, in the mass opinion. So 7.5 for me.
Yeah, what he said. 7.5 from me as well. There's nothing else to add. It's just a really good song. As pointed out, it's probably not my top 10 material, but I cannot deny that this is just a fun entry. I thought it was going to close the semi, actually, and I was a little bummed out that it didn't. But hey, still a great song. James.
Now, if I was asked to vote now, I probably would have given it a slightly higher score, mostly because it's kind of grown on me from the initial release time. But my score for now is 8.
Well, that is still a fantastic score. So overall, we are hovering around 7.5 and 9, right? Those are our scores. The question is Slovenia going to fall in between that range, or is it going to be higher? It's going over 9, or lower? We find out right now. And anyone else in the chat, let us know your thoughts about the song and the score. But Slovenia receives from Team United 8.17. It broke the 8-point mark. I hear some giggling, some clapping. Arnaud, you're surprised?
Not really, actually. It's a huge score, but it's deserved. And I think nobody on the team gave it a score maybe below 5, because that's the kind of song that no one hates or no one finds bad. It's either like meh or it's good or really good to me. So I'm not that surprised about the score, but wow, that's it. We have pretty
Yeah,
good
it really
scores.
gave Sweden a run for the money there. Connor, you
Yeah.
must be pleased.
Oh, I am 100% pleased. Especially, this is like what, my third time on the panel. And I feel like we never talk about Slovenia, let alone for it to ever break like a 5 in the overall. I don't remember exactly, but no, it's fantastic. And I think that it really speaks to the quality of the song in the band and the international pull that this entry can have. Again, if done correctly and if staged correctly. I don't know if it would overtake some of the songs underneath it, but it has a chance to. And that's just what Slovenia is asking for at this point, is let's just have a chance to be in the top 26.
I know, right? That is what we're hoping for. But I would be shocked if that wasn't the case. And Pierre Vistiak saying, I was not expecting it to break 8. This is great. It means much more universal than previously thought. Great score, well deserved. And then I see a lot of wows and what? I didn't see that coming. So a lot of pleasant surprise digital faces. But this is the Team United scores. That's not our reader scores. So we need to hear from you as well. The link is in the description box. As always, vote for Slovenia. Give it a score between 10 highest and 1 the lowest. And then we'll go from there.